181 for 5 is what Lucknow Super Giants have got, and what can be best described as a strange innings, because they started off at an average pace, then accelerated. At one stage it looked like 200 because they were going 10 and over. I think it's the dismissal of Stoinis when they were sitting pretty on in 14 overs, about 130, and you thought from there on should be 200 easy. Then reached the stage after some outstanding bowling by Topley and Yash Dayal in that phase. One over where Yash Dayal only gave 2 runs. It looked like 150, 60 would be huff and puff. But then from there on, a bit of acceleration by Nicholas Pooran towards the end. Even that in itself was strange. He would play a lot of dot balls and then hit a few sixes to manage that net run rate, or run rate rather here, to take the team to 181 for 5. Initial thoughts, what do you make of the total before we get into the nitty-gritties of what is it that RCB did right, or what is it that Lucknow did right, or what is it in terms of where the teams faltered? But overall, I just want to know the total. Looking good, not so good, average?
RCB will be very happy with their effort, because the average total, as Harshit was pointing out, at this venue
When
has
did
been...
he point out?
He pointed out just before the...
They don't know now.
Okay, so Harshit, just before we went on air, he had stated that the average total here at the Chinnaswamy is 196. By that metric, they are about 15 runs short.
But given the kind of pitch this is, it's a sluggish kind of a wicket. And it was predicted before the match. This isn't like last time's the KKR match where, it was too paced. And therefore you thought, okay, 180 was at least a par total. Of course, it eased out significantly and any talks of par total went to rest. But this, we knew from the off, would be a slow, sluggish kind of a wicket. And that's pretty much how it proved. And actually a lot of players, we were talking about Pooran, I mean, he got 30 runs in just sixes. Because he had 5 sixes.
And 34 runs.
And 34 runs in boundaries. That means if you take away those 6 balls, there's no strike rotation, really, bare minimum.
And this is a Nicholas Pooran we're talking, who's arguably the most destructive T20 batter in the world.
Oh yeah.
Right. One amongst the top 2-3 that you can put it, right? And if he was struggling to get, if you look at it, and it's an interesting point that Shin makes about the pitch, if you look at it, majority of his sixes came when the pitch was eliminated from that contest where they were full tosses. So he could do it. Every time the ball was pitched, he found it tough to get going. In fact, why just him? There was a stage, even someone as set as Quinton de Kock as he was, once the ball got a bit older, and as soon as the fast bowlers started applying those cutters, even he found it tough. So, okay, we got initial thoughts. You think RCB will be happy? Overall, you think the pitch is sluggish? So, Lucknow would be happy, not happy?
I think they'd be okay. This is a defendable total if the pitch stays the same way. If it stays the same way, then yes, they'd be happy.
See, given what had happened last time where conditions for batting, considerably eased and things became easier for KKR, then we saw very well how, it was a 2-pace wicket. Faf came out to say that. Virat's knock everyone saw, scrutinized, whatever. If that is to happen, it looks under par, but if it stays the way that it did, once the ball got old again, it ebbed and flowed in many ways, because slow start, then picked up, then slowed again. With that in mind, I think they'll be very satisfied, because 181 competitive on a surface which looks rather tricky to me at the moment. Not the easiest batting conditions. Stays this way, Lucknow would be feeling at this point they have something to play with, and given the bowling attack that they have, they'll only be inspired. See, we also, let's say when we were comparing it paper to paper, we said that Lucknow are the more complete side going into the match, have a more rounded side, better bowling attack, have an X factor in Mayank as well. So all of that put together, they would also be knowing all of those things. I think 181, they'd feel they have...
which eventually, you've spoken for both teams.
Lucknow.
You think Lucknow? Despite that, the one other advantage, interestingly, for Lucknow is they did not exercise the option of going in as a batter, their super sub. They could have super subbed a batter. They kept that option open. They haven't gone for it because they didn't need to. They consolidated in the wicket, which means they will now go in with 7 decent bowlers. So they have that option to look at another bowler if one isn't having a great day. So that's the option that Lucknow have. We'll have to look at their bowling lineup, but again, it takes me back to that point. If this was not going to be enough for RCB, or they could have curtailed Lucknow for even more, the talk of them not going with enough bowlers for RCB will come into play. But I guess they should be happy now, overall RCB, because batting is their strength. And if at the toss you had asked them 182 to chase in Bengaluru, where we saw even misses were flying for sixes, I think they would have taken it, because with their bowling, more often than not, they'd be happy every time they get 188, all the more on this ground.
Will it be the first time they'll be chasing?
No, they chase his Punjab
CSK,
Kings, right?
Punjab
The
Kings,
whole
right.
debate, he said Virat's strike rate
Because this
improves
is
when he
right up
bats
Virat
second.
Kohli's alley. And remember, he will have a template, and you got potentially two different kinds of variety of spinners that he has to tackle. Two potentially left-arm orthodox, because I think they'll be getting in Manimaran Siddharth. If you're going with a bowling option, you already got a Krunal, a Ravi Bishnoi. Looking at LSG's pace bowling, barring, Mayank Yadav is only a match old. Yash,
But
Naveen ul Haq, so the kind of deliveries that reached Topley was one of the slow cutters that might grip on this particular kind of a wicket.
What does
No,
Naveen
Reese
bowl?
wasn't able to do it.
Reese tried, but then certain deliveries did.
But what does Naveen bowl?
9.8, what is he
Only
finished
cutters?
with?
Off spin.
I think overall the bowling attack of Lucknow is clearly better. So if a team would fancy themselves to defend this total, it would be the Lucknow Super Giants. But I think Chen made an interesting point. All of it will boil down to how the pitch behaves. If it is anywhere as sluggish as it was in the first innings, I am of the opinion that Lucknow sail through. If it gets better, it gets a batting paradise, which Bengaluru can get on most occasions, then to defend 181 with such short boundaries is going to be tough.
Look at
and with RCB's batting lineup, which is their stronger.
and if you look at it, for 4 overs, Lucknow managed just 19 runs ever since Marcus Stoinis was dismissed. Just 19 runs. It could have been a whole lot worse had Pooran not hit those 33 runs in 2 overs. When those sixes came, Topley bowled 2 full tosses and he hit a home run. Just at that 54 to 55 meter square boundary.
Look at the 20th overs. The first 3 balls that Siraj landed, they were those short cutters. Pooran was unable to touch them. When did he start hitting him? When it was a slot ball. When it was there, it was the gimme ball.
Which is why, see, LSG have a better spin bowling lineup.
Yeah.
But
So I'm guessing if Maxwell was almost like Muralidharan today,
oh yeah,
his performance was, and I mean, taking no credit away from Maxwell, but he's still a
batter.
Time.
batter who can bowl a bit.
Yeah.
And by the way, interestingly, keep talking about matchups, both his wickets were righties.
Yes.
So even that he defied. So if Maxwell could be as potent that he is, I'm guessing the 3 spinners that LSG will play should be.
They
a
will
tougher
fancy their
proposition.
chances. They'll fancy their chances because he gets in trouble against left armers so many times.
Who is he?
Maxwell.
He is who?
Maxwell.
The big show
I
has
was talking about Virat.
no.
Even I thought he was talking about Virat.
Exactly.
See, but you've seen in this IPL 2024, Virat doesn't have a problem against spin.
Yeah.
He's having a problem against slow pacers. If you look at Naveen ul Haq kind of bowlers, he'll struggle kind of.
Anukul Roy is a slow pacer.
I mean, Anukul Roy just bowled 2. But
but
against Narain,
Those 2 overs, by the way, killed the game. 6 runs, boss.
but
6
I
runs.
think more so the spell by Russell killed them in
that's
that
true.
game. And
He
more, if you
wasn't
look,
able to get those cutters.
At all.
and he tackled Narain much better.
Even
Normally,
Chakravarti 1 over went for 3. The next
Yes.
one went for 17.
yes. So that's why I think
Even the game after that, the Brar, when they were playing Punjab, Brar has his number.
yeah, but then
He
he tackled
negotiated
him
well
well.
with him.
Because see, Yash Thakur, he's coming into just his 2nd game, but he was expensive. Mayank Yadav is just a game old. All the onus on the pace bowling is on Naveen ul Haq. And you're basically going to use Naveen ul Haq in the death overs. But by that time, maybe RCB will be in a quite comfortable position then.
First, you have to deal with 155. He's new, yes.
Yes, but
155 is 155.
but on the Chinnaswamy wicket,
I know. So
And
either
he'll
he'll go
go
for
for-
6 or he'll knock a few.
Hmm.
It can go either way. I
Yeah.
completely agree.
Yeah.
Today is a good day when I'd like to see his variations. How good is his slow one? How can he really adapt to such situations, such ground conditions?
Because he did mention in
Margin
the
of error
press
is very
conference when he won the man of the match. After that, he came for the press conference after LSG's victory of PBKS. He said, "I had variations in the back of my mind, but then at that time, the captain told me see the pitch and then employ your strength. Here, it will test his bowling thoughts also."
So there he could see that no batsman could touch his pure pace because the bounce and carry was so good. If he hit the right length, it was impossible to touch. So he said, why go with a slow ball? Today, Definitely need to mix in a few
And
cutters.
he's going to bowl to a very foreign heavy top order who have been born and brought up on these kind of wickets with extreme pace also. A Faf can play it well, a Green can play it well, a Maxwell can play it well. And imagine if it's a short ball outside.
Virat can play it.
Virat also, but
Just why you only naming?
But
foreign
no,
batters?
but
Indian
even let's
batters
say-
can't play fast bowler.
Because in the
Johnny
game-
Bairstow was also rushed on by the way. With
Oh,
pace.
yeah.
But then he-
So anything excess of 150 can,
but then
ruffle a
the
few
wickets that
feathers
he
here
got,
and
who
there.
were the wickets that he got
Jitesh,
except for
Prabh
Bairstow?
Simran and Bairstow.
Bairstow, but then there they were staring at scoreboard pressure, chasing. Here today, but you got a much more potent batting lineup than PBK's. Let us be very honest about it.
Yeah, but again, it's not as if this batting lineup doesn't have its flaws.
It does, it does, it does. I mean, a Virat Kohli is due for a failure. I mean, if you look at it in that sense.
Many would argue that his knock against KKR wasn't exactly a roaring success, my friend.
But he had hit a 50. That's what the fans will argue.
He's
Because,
250s now.
yeah, and
But
one
what's
came
the
in a
strike rate?
chasing.
The broadcasters won't tell you.
Other platforms tell you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
150, very important, chasing.
Any guesses why?
I wonder why.
By the talking about strike rate, I thought Nicholas Pooran had an average game. I'm looking at his strike rate; it's 190. On a day where he looked very average.
Yeah.
See, however he compensated for it is his skill.
Hmm.
But on a day where he looked clueless on a lot of occasions, where he could not figure out which is why he kept reviewing. Even on that day,
Yeah.
he's ended up.
I
with
mean,
190
if you look at it, 34 of 6, strike rate of 550, but 6 of 15, wow.
Yeah.
Look at how it balances
But
out.
pressure on Devdutt Padikkal as well. His poor string of form continues. And you know what? This is a batting lineup and Nicholas Pooran is having to bat at number 5. And where Devdutt Padikkal bats at 3, I don't think it's fair. Where even Ayush Badoni,
Who's the number 3?
yeah, and where I will now say even Deepak Huda is sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I do much better than this.
And that's the
Any day.
problem with
Both of them would
LSG.
be a notice now, I feel.
No, that's the problem with LSG. You already had a muddle order. So you're like, what do we need to do? We'll bring in Devdutt Padikkal, whose best position is as an opener, and we'll play him at number 3. I do not understand it because with Padikkal again, he's always been. When was his best season?
But he can't offer
But-
that
but
as an
I'm just
excuse.
wondering-
He's still a top order batsman. He's getting to bat at 3. He needs to make
No,
moves.
fair, but I'm saying everything that we've seen from him so far, nothing suggests he's a middle order bat. Nothing.
I'm just wondering if they sold him a dream that you'll be opening and
KL will bat in the
KL
middle
will
order.
bat in the middle order and he just feels
No, I don't think it's anything of that sort. Trades happen very emotionlessly. Listen, they wanted to get rid of Avesh, they got rid of Avesh, and now, ironically, I think
Avesh is good.
I remember saying at that time, I remember doing the live breaking for this when it happened, and I said, listen, it looks like LSG are getting the better end of the deal. I take my words back. I've got the better end of the deal easily.
Okay, quick question. Shubham Garg says, De Kock
81 in 57.
versus VK 83 in 59. Now a theory, please. De Kock has problem batting first. This just shows deck is difficult to bat first time. He's making a point on this track. When Virat batted, you went on and on about his strike rate. What about
Even if
Kock?
LSG lose today, then that knock will come into scanner.
More so, I would say the failures from someone like Padikkal.
Padikkal, Badoni.
He at least, again,
Yeah.
same with Virat also. Last time around, more so than Virat. We can talk about his strike rate, sure, and I agree. He probably didn't accelerate enough. But Maxwell had a pretty bang average game despite getting 2 lives.
Because see,
Faf,
again,
less said the better.
the problem with Virat and De Kock at the same time is their middle order doesn't inspire that much confidence if you look at it. For LSG, it's a middle order. For RCB, if you look at it, some will fire on a given day, some will not fire. That is the problem. So that's why De Kock's knock will be put on the same thing as Virat in the KKR game if LSG
who's
lose today.
starting the super sub bowling?
Manimaran.
Manimaran
Over.
Siddharth. Yeah, he did last time too.
Good drift he got.
And yeah, with Virat and Faf, not a bad idea. Pradeep Srivatsan saying, Siddharth,
Yeah.
Siri as we used to call him, he says, we support you. Don't have to win back any RCB fans. Go for it. Unless you are trying to reverse jinx.
Why is everybody thinking I'm
Because
reverse
you are.
jinxing? No.
Not
See,
reverse jinxing, you're genuinely trying to win back fans.
No.
Only two things. You're trying to win back fans or you're reverse jinxing.
I am
one or
not
the
doing
other.
both. See, if RCB would have batted first, then I would have backed LSG to win. But now chasing is their stronger suit. That's why I backed them.
You are actually looking at cricketing logic when it comes to RCB.
I told you I will surprise people.
Oh, and by the way, KL Rahul is keeping wickets.
Oh!
But Quinton was the listed keeper,
Yes.
but he got impact subbed.
Yes.
Very, very interesting.
Okay. Mr. Shekhar says, good day, gents. Why are you silent on KL opening, wasting 10 balls of power play, hit a 6 and then got out. Even in first game, he scored.
I mean, just look at the previous game. We both went after
No,
KL Rahul.
I'm sorry. At this point, Mr. Shekhar, why are we silent on KL? Because such performances are the norm with him.
Yeah.
We'll start talking about it if he gets a big knock or a match-winning knock.
It is now mundane.
Yeah.
It is now mundane. It has to happen every single time.
Okay, quick comments I'm going to take. Prakash Jha, that's why you need 6 hitters in T20s, 5 hits in 2 overs and score is looking good.
Good point.
Okay. Manuel Gadala says, Siddharth, your analysis does not seem genuine. You're just defending RCB because of the hate you got. Yeah, everyone has caught on to it. Just
No.
It's
I
okay,
mean-
so we don't have to explain. That's their opinion.
Hey,
Okay, Chenchal Singh. He said,
Nikhil sir, 2 years ago, I asked you that will Ashwin be able to break the Anil Kumble record of 619 wickets, and you said no. What's your opinion now?
Still won't break it.
Now
He is 112 behind.
It's touch and go.
No,
he's not.
Not touch and go. Look, most of your big series in this cycle are overseas.
I think he still may not.
Probably most likely not.
Sarthak Arya has a prediction. He's saying watch out for Bishnoi today. Could be.
Didn't correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it in Bangalore that T20I against Afghanistan, the super over one?
Yeah, that Bishnoi
Yeah.
bowled. Second super over.
Second super over, he got you 2 wickets,
wickets,
killed the
yes.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he defended 7 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Post-match, long show. We'll go on for much longer. So join us then. I'll take one more comment.
Abhinav?
Asad is
Asad
saying,
Usman.
who the hell are taking this kind of decision to send Pooran, who's your best batter? Completely agree.
Yeah.
We deserve, to see batter like Pooran face more balls. Send him at 3. I agree with you. He can kill the game.
There are 2 West Indians, by the way, who can be a little peeved at their game time or lack thereof. One is him. No, Russell I still say is better in the death. You don't want him facing too many spinners.
Hetmeyer.
Yes. Shimron Hetmeyer.
Agree.
Yeah.
Okay, see you post-match.
Post-match.
Prediction?
Roman Pal, getting to bat at all.
He can't play spin. I'm sticking with LSG.
LSG?
RCB.
LSG. Ooh. Should I make it even?
Up to you.
Okay, I'll go LSG.
ठीक है.
See you. Bye-bye.
Nandri.
I think one sit is enough.
Yeah, it's enough. But I like that RCB green jersey, Abhinav Chatterjee. I'm wearing the RCB green jersey, but I like that.
Siddharth, you were overdoing it.
No, I genuinely like the green jersey. I like the blue and the green that they used to wear. The other thing
Didn't
is,
like either of them. They were eyesores.
but yeah, when they wore the blue jersey for a noble cause, they didn't achieve that noble cause.
I just liked what Glenn Maxwell was doing wearing that green jersey in that photo shoot.
Oh, 2 left-armers opening in the power play. Krunal also.
Matchups, huh?
Yeah.
But is Krunal Pandey having a competition with his brother to see who can have a worse hairstyle?
And with a better bandana. Both bandanas, I mean, if you look at it. Oof.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Nandri.